So you already know, Wiggins is resting tonight. Carlson is out with right calf soreness. And Cason Wallace is here. He came up last night, so he will play. Everything else is status quo.
Can you talk about Cason Wallace's contribution to your team this season, what he's brought since he's been with the organization?
Yeah. First of all, great pro for a young guy, and just a great approach. Attacks the program, doesn't get high or low. Unbelievably consistent. Great competitor that plays both ends of the floor proficiently. He's obviously had a more narrow role early on offense because of the level of our team and where he's been, but we think there's a lot of runway there. I think we'll probably see some of that this year. I'm expecting him to take a step forward offensively, and then defensively he's already, even without, and I say this respectfully, without really a ton of seasoning on that end of the floor, he's still unbelievably impactful. So the combination of the character of the person, the character of the professional, and then the level of player, we have a really good player right there that we have a lot of faith in.
Mark, what do you like that you saw offensively yesterday against Charlotte?
Shooting 41% from three always makes it look better. I thought generally good approach, good carryover in the areas that we've identified coming into camp. Just as I said before the game yesterday, we want to look in character, no matter how early it is and no matter who's on the floor, and I thought we did that on both ends. Certainly a lot of things we can improve on. I think the shot making does cloud that a little bit. It always looks a little better when we shoot it like that, but there's certainly a lot of things that we could have improved on. Looking forward to seeing how we do that tonight.
What stood out to you most about Carlson just over his first year in the organization?
Well, he was an Exhibit 10 with Toronto, and so a lot of times, kind of like these guys we have here, we have them in Summer League, which is a great touch point, and we have them in training camp. And there's, for a first-year player, a new player, for us, those are important periods of time that he missed. And so this has been his first, run of, an off season. His body's transformed. He's gained a ton of weight. He looks completely different than he did a year ago, and got a haircut. And then, which also changes the optics. And then, but he's had summer league. He's had an off season. He's had training camp, and we're pretty confident. And he won't play tonight, but he's a guy that has been in the game for us already. And has improved, and we knew he would get a bump just by being kind of in our ecosystem, for an off season that we didn't get with him last year. But that's gone very well. We're very, very optimistic about him.